This is a 15K bounty builder. Play money on Poker Stars. So curiosity killed the cat for my evil violators. People, not kitties. So it's reconditioning the animals to not harm people, or machines not to harm people, except for evil people that are enemy combatants of me and my two biological children. Here we go, King Deuce. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna get aggressive with 16 people to respond after me, so it's not. It might work out. Depends on the flop. Most likely, does he jam? It kind of sucks if he jams, because then it makes it hard to bluff. It kind of, by the end of the hand, it'll be shown that I'm a bluffer, right? Nice. Did I get both hands? Nope. I guess I'll start taking screenshots of every tournament I place in so I can show in the video, because in the 50K tournament I think I finished 90th out of 1400, and yesterday I finished 54th, and another tournament yesterday or the day before I finished 20th out of over 1200. And did take a screenshot when I came first out of 111 in a $10 tournament on June 11th. Then I played in a couple $100 tournaments, and it was kind of lackluster. I did all right in one of them. I kind of predicted how the tournament was going to finish for me, and I was correct. But I possibly could have played better. Or got luckier. Absolutely could have got luckier. And for some reason, I know it's rigged, because the day I won the $10 tournament, for instance, I was on fire. Like, I joined, I didn't start the tournament at the beginning of the tournament. Near the end of late registration, and but I just dominated almost. I went coast to coast, basically. I started leading, and I led basically, or one of the chip leaders for the whole entire tournament almost. So I was on fire that day, so that meant when I played in the $100 tournament, I should have still been on fire that day. When you're in the zone, it's not like, okay, I'm in the zone for 10 minutes. I should be in the zone for weeks at a time, right? Like guys like Phil Locke played like 70 something hours at the casino. Like I've never played 20 plus hours of poker consecutively because I've never had a run that long. Where I would have easily, because when I won the $10 tournament, I want to win the tournament, but I'm always disappointed when I win that it's over. Because I'm having so much fun at the final table that I want, ideally, the perfect, maybe not an online tournament for a cheap one, but $100 tournament, say, for sure. I'd want, like, say, the final 5 of us, I would like at least an hour of five-handed poker. At least an hour to 2 hours of five-handed poker, four-handed poker, basically. And then maybe an hour to 2 hours three-handed or less, in a long heads-up session where one guy gets decimated, rebounds, the other guy gets decimated, where it goes back and forth a couple times, and then through skillful play, not luck, the winner is determined. Like whether usually in that scenario, it would have to be the second last hand or the decisive hand that cripples one of the opponents, and then the guy with all the chips gets lucky and his hand holds up, right? So you might win with 6-9, get him to fold a 3 of a kind or something like that, and because it's the correct play to do most of the time in that scenario, and so you might cripple them and then finish them off with a legitimate hand where you have top pair or 2 pairs or something like that. But to win the tournament, you need to have a winning hand for the final hand. You could cripple them or decimate them beforehand, but you need a winning hand. Okay, so is this my winning hand? I'm going to be conservative. Kind of ease into the cold water here. Good decision. This big stack's likely to bet. He didn't bet. They didn't bet. But he raised. Good luck, me. I think this guy's folding. So that sucks. He called a pretty big bet pre-flop with 6-10 and got rewarded. But at the same time, I do that to people all the time, so that it does happen, right? Because if I had, not so much in this tournament, because maybe I would have, depending on if I had an opportunity to knock an opponent out and give me a better chance of getting a victory, then I might take the chance. But certainly in a bounty tournament, if I had them covered and they had like the chips that I had, I would have called or jammed pre-flop with 6-10. Not a problem. Knowing that I'm an underdog, but I could get lucky and get the bounty. So I get lots of bounties that way. The most bounties I've gotten in a tournament is 25. That was a play money tournament, but I got over 20 in a real money tournament before as well. So I don't have enough to play in a big bounty tournament. One of these bounty builders, 100 mil or 1 million, 25 million. That's the funnest play money tournament to play on PokerStars. It's the highest one, 25 million. And I know it's rigged because 2 years ago, I was about a year, or probably close to 2 years ago now, I was playing in 25 million bounty tournaments in play money. I played in at least 5 or 6 of them, and I've never reached that level, and we're close to that level since then. I'm lucky if I well, I'll do well in a 50K tournament, so I'll win like maybe 4 or 5 million, but then I'll play in a 250K tournament or a 500K tournament, and then a million bounty tournament, and then eventually my luck runs out, right? And once I jump up, especially once I jump up to say a 2.5 million tournament, my pocket kings are almost guaranteed gonna lose, right? Because you could win hundreds of millions of chips, or hundreds of million at that point, right? In the 25 million, it's 2.3 billion chips, right? So first place must be say something like 370 million or whatever it would be, right? Enough to play in many more $25 million tournaments. So what else? There's a 250. Okay, that one starts on. That starts in the morning. These are all in the morning. Oh, that sucks. Upcoming tournaments. Well, now I can't see the tournaments. But people could be watching this, like watching the tournament from the previous video, right? So it's kind of a quick conclusion. So I want to put some more poker, make an hour-and-a-half long video, or a longer video than 11 minutes. So finally it updated. 31 minutes, and then in the morning. Crazy. They got rid of one of their tournaments. I guess it is after midnight. But that kind of sucks for the night shift workers. Where did they play their poker? That's one of the most frustrating things about being a night shift worker. Is you have all this energy on your days off in the middle of the night, and you have all this money because you saved it ideally, and you have nowhere to spend your money because nothing's open at 12 in the morning, like 12 at night. It's great if you're into the bar scene. You could go to the bar and you're wide awake till 7 in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, no problem, right? When I was younger, my favorite shift was, if I was single, would be 3 to 11. Because then you could go up to the bar, you could sleep till 10, 11, you have a few hours before work, and then you have a few hours after work. Because the bar doesn't even get interesting until about midnight. So I'll sit down with 50K. And then I'll sit at another table to throw off the artificial intelligence. And I'll sit down with 80K. I think I got 80K. I do. So 273 right there. A couple guys with over 400,000. So they either doubled up or they lost their entry and then earned it back. I was playing on this other real money website. They would give me real money every day, but my phone said it was a suspicious app, so I ended up deleting it. But they would give me real money every day, and the coolest thing about the app was you could change your name. So I can post these videos and be really descriptive of how I play, and then change my name so you could never play against me with the same name. It was awesome. Unless you were cheating, you wouldn't know that I would be the same player, right? And it was really awesome where they didn't try to take your money. Always be suspicious. Like on PokerStars, you have to be suspicious, because if you leave a table and then sit down at the same blind limit, they make you sit down with the amount that you left the table with. It's like, why are you telling me how to spend my money? It's like, I want to now risk less. I want to keep the profit. Right? So I went to the same blind limit table. I didn't go up in blinds. If I wanted to risk more, I would have went up in blinds. If I played the same blind limit, I want to not risk as much, and basically it'd be different at poker, because poker's a skilled game, right? It's a skilled sport. But there's the luck component on it, right? So it's probably one of the few industries where you could be an expert, a really good player, and put in hours of effort and see no results. Because in a tournament, like say the World Series of Poker, it's a $10,000 buy-in tournament. So you might have to play 4 or 5 days even before you're in the money. So you might have to play 8 to 10 hours of flawless poker for 4 to 5 days even before you make a cent. Right? So it's a brutal sport. So in the future, since I should own the casinos, I'm going to make it so it's a bounty builder. Like say maybe 2,500 bounty. So this way, the first day, you could easily make $20,000 in bounties in the first day. So you could be, especially if there's re-entry. So basically you make enough for re-entry, because I don't know about you, but if I flew, depending on my experience, right? But if late entry is still open and I didn't satiate my poker hunger for that particular road trip or that trip, then I'm always gonna re-enter. Because to inflate the prize pool, and I got unlucky once, and I'm a skilled player, right? So the odds of me getting unlucky twice are slim, right? Then 3 times even slimmer, right? So eventually, because when you're a good player, even good players get lucky sometimes, right? You run hot when you're a good player. Even though my game is basically a skill game where I grind out a lot of pots that I have no business winning, but my situational poker skills allow me to win these pots. Players' tendencies, like when I used to watch MMA fights, they quite possibly they were listening to my thoughts, but I would predict what the announcer was gonna say. Because like as a fighter myself, it'd be like, okay, if I was in the advantage position, I'd strike here, I'd do this particular move, and the announcer would be like, okay, he's about to do this, and right, and kind of confirm my fighting aptitude, basically. Because it's pretty basic, but if the guy's expecting you to punch him in the head, then you punch him in the body, right? Or if the guy looks like he's a boxer, then you take him to the ground. And you know if he's a boxer basically by the first couple punches he throws. If he throws really liquid dynamic punches, you got to get him to the ground. Or do some leg kicks to offset his balance and to weaken his power for his punches. So you could take him to the ground by throwing a few punches and then going low with the double grab right above the knees. Like you would want to bear hug his knees, his thighs basically, right above the knees, and pull up and in at the same time. right? So you're trying to force his knees. Let's see, does he have the jack? I'm gonna fold because it's best case scenario. It's a split pot, but it's only play money, so I kind of want to call, but I don't want to lose at the same time. So I get a C. So I would have won with the 4 of a kind. But there was a player to act after me, right? So I don't mind making that play. It sucks that I would have lost or won, but and tripled up. But at the same time, I saved myself. There's nothing wrong with being conservative in poker at times. I saved myself $44K because I had the low full house. He could have had 2 jacks, right? He could have had the 4 of a kind, and or he could have had the jack high full house, right? But so now I know something about that player. So depending on future scenarios, right? Like I might just snap call him. Like now, right? I have zero respect for his game right now until he makes me earn respect based on his previous play. Even though he won that hand. Because he doesn't know that I was holding it, right? Or he shouldn't know that I was holding it. Nice. So I didn't double up through him like I did the previous hand, but or would have, but I extracted some chips out of him. What did he have? Jack 8. If he would have jammed, I would have snap called him, but I would have assumed he had the flush. Oh yeah, maybe this table I could possibly earn 1 million chips within 15 minutes and get into the 1 million chip tournament. So that is the goal. So I'm gonna play a little bit riskier, unfortunately. Well, I guess I won't play too risky. I'll be conservative. I won't press the action. Like I won't be jamming in situations like if I'm trying to win if there's only 5 minutes left in late registration, right? I'm playing marginal spots. I'll be more conservative. And if it happens, it happens. Just keep on trying to chip up and try to avoid bad beats. And sneak in with the odd curveball and smash a home run. That's what I didn't want to see. Good thing I didn't jam on the flop. I want to call, but it's such a losing play long term. It could be the right play, the perfect play short term, but long term it's such a losing play. Because there's does he show it? No, he didn't show it. I thought I had time bank. But it's such a losing play long term because I only had a 5 kicker for the 3 of a kind. So any kicker would have destroyed my 3 of a kind. And there was the potential flush with a redraw to another flush, easier flush to make, basically. So you have to make those defensive folds. Especially since I'm trying to get a million chips, right? Because you could usually, especially at the cash game, right? You could usually find a better spot until you're down on your luck with very little chips. So it's kind of marginal. Okay, I won. It's always risky when you go all in with E6 top pair with the 6 kicker, right? You're gonna lose a certain percentage of the time. Yeah. So hopefully I end up with a million chips by 12:45, 12:50. Nice, got the fold. On the PokerStars table, this is, I think, the table on the left, this table that I have 67K, is the third level of play money. And the other table that I'm playing on is the fourth level of play. This one's the fourth level of play money. So the easiest play money one, you could sit down with 10K, and then the second easiest, you could sit down with 20K. Third easiest, you could sit down with 50K. Fourth easiest, you could sit down with 200K. And then fifth easiest, a million K. A million chips, I guess. One thing I don't like about PokerStars is they don't have, you can't see your winning percentage. So when I create a poker app, I'm definitely going to have winning percentage. Because then it's like your personal best when you go to the gym, right? You want to know what your personal best is and try to raise it, basically. Try to improve it. But I do like how it shows the percentages of your odds of winning the hand, which is particularly useful when you're heads up in a pot, because you're likely to experience a heads up scenario that you could recall that the percentages. But when you're 3 ways in a pot or 4 ways, it is useful, but you can't utilize that information as often in the future, right? Because the third guy has to have that random third hand, or the fourth guy, to kind of skew the results. But ace king versus queens, you could find out the percentage. Ace 9 versus ace 8, stuff like that, right? Common scenario, 7-8 suited versus maybe pocket 9s. So a suited can top pair versus a flush draw on the flop, what your odds are winning. So in play money, to figure out the odds on PokerStars, sometimes you want to jam with play money just to figure out the odds, just to see the odds. It's like, oh, I haven't seen this combination, or I don't know what the odds are to win. But if I do experience this place often enough that then you're like, oh, okay, I'm a 65% favorite, so maybe I'll play it a little bit more conservatively. I think it might be a jaw pot. Nope. I did like seeing the deuce on the river because it made my kicker slightly better, right? Instead of a 10 kicker, I now had a jack kicker. I had 2 pairs with a jack kicker rather than a top pair with a 10 kicker. It's 95K, so hopefully I could double up through that guy. I want to jam, but there's so many people to add. But I think I'm leading right now. But I don't have the best drawing hand. Oh, you had the queen. So I guess I wasn't leading. Good thing I didn't jam. He might have folded though if I jammed. And the king didn't come. That's awesome. I won with a 3-outer. So the player that lost with the kings, he's a disciplined player anyways. He didn't get aggressive, even though he just lost a big pot. So he's a disciplined player. A lot of people go on tilt, even in play money games. They go on tilt in that scenario where they go all in. I seldom get tilt, go on tilt, like very rarely. Maybe in 20,000 hands, maybe 4 times, 5 times. If that. I get frustrated lots, but I don't tilt. But I do sometimes when I have 2 tables open, I might take a little bit of aggression out on the second table. So if I lose a big pot on this table, I might get really aggressive at this table. For a hand. That was a bad river. It looked good, but he could have had the 3, and he did. It's always dangerous. I am suspicious usually of the river making my hand in my opponent's hand. But I want to see another card, even though I have no draw. Well, that's not good. I was hoping for something higher than 10. And I won pre-flop there. So at least I won with queens. Even though I'm so overdue to win queens versus jacks or 10s or... Let's see how the river changes everything. Because this person's they likely have either the 9, the 10, or queen jack. We'll see basically right here what they have, what I think they have. Okay, so that guy jammed, so he might have the 9. I think the first guy's gonna fold. He folded. He folded the 10. If the second guy didn't, if he would have folded, I would have jammed to try to initiate the fold, because I put him on the 10, the 9, or the busted straight draw, right? So I could have made him fold possibly. At least a good player. A weak player wouldn't have folded in that scenario. So I usually give my opponents more credit than sometimes than what they're worth, right? But you never disrespect your opponent's potential, because upsets happen all the time. So I'm trying to press the action here. So I did win, because I want to get the million chips basically. So I got 170,000 so far. So I need to 5x it pretty fast in the next 9 minutes. Okay, so I won there, nice. I had the full house there. How did the pocket aces hold up? I lost. It's brutal. Brutal. Pocket aces losing to ace 9. How are they gonna ever say that the site's not rigged when every single video I show me losing big hands? Hands that most people win with. Every video. All you have to do is jump to the last 5 minutes of my videos. See the last 7 minutes of my videos, watch there. And you're going to see me probably grinding out, winning some pots, chipping up, and then getting busted with pocket aces, pocket kings, queens, ace king. Or 3 of a kind. He made a nice bet because I had a potential full house redraw, right? And I had the queen high kickers, so you just happen to have a full house. So I just turned off my Wi-Fi, and so now I'm on my internet, and PokerStars is still connecting. So let's see if I have internet. Lightning fast internet. PokerStars is still connecting. So let's see, is it my Wi-Fi? So I got Wi-Fi, lightning fast internet. So why is PokerStars still connecting? This happened to me a few weeks ago. I got disconnected from my Wi-Fi and my internet simultaneously went out, and I was approaching the final table at a $10 tournament, and I had about 10 to 12K in chips, and by the time the internet recovered, I was out of the tournament. So I did make money on the tournament, but I don't even know how much I made. So I guess that the app isn't working right now, so will be the end of the video. So if you like how I played, consider sponsoring me, endorsing me, or making a donation. My PayPal email address is christianerikarnemeyer@gmail.com. And if you believe you got private thoughts, look right there to get your violators. Look right there to get my violators, and go to www.change.org/technology. Privatize our thoughts, share it on social media many times to make it go viral, and contribute as much money as you can to get it on the agenda so the government can acknowledge the system, and a civilian and military oversight committee can be set up to keep Big Brother in check, basically. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day.